Thank you for watching a live edition of the East West Football Podcast. I am Fidel Barraza. Alongside with me, like always, Jerry Martinez, Kendall Whitley. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man? Playoffs, here we come.
And it's crazy. The regular season's already over too. I mean, that's it. And for those teams that made it, congratulations to all those fan bases. For the teams that are here, good luck to all the teams, right? Because I mean, this is the part of the NFL that it gets really good. You know, if you don't win, there's no tomorrow. So hopefully, we get to see some good football this weekend and leading up into the Monday night game.
Yeah, a lot of great games scheduled all weekend and then also on Monday Night Football. So let's start out with the first game on Saturday. It's a rematch, divisional rematch between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Niners did sweep the series, but as you guys know, it's very difficult to beat a team 3 times.
Very difficult, very. And I mean, this first divisional foe, whatnot. I think it'll be a pretty good game, but we're really gonna see what Brock Purdy is all about. This is Saturday, right? Yeah. Come Saturday, we're really gonna see what it's about. It's playoff time here. I think this is a pretty good Seattle team. They got plenty of talent, well coached by Pete Carroll, whatnot. So I cannot wait for this. This one in the game we're about to talk about is one of the two biggest ones that I'm really looking forward to this Seattle and 49 game. Like you said, it's tough to beat a team 3 straight times in the same season. It's extremely tough because I mean, how many times can you change the game plan? How many times can you adjust? So it's gonna be. I can't wait for that one.
Well, I mean, my biggest concern, and it's really a real concern for a bunch of people there in California. How's the weather first and foremost? I mean,
Yeah.
I know there you're in California, but I mean, from the stuff I've seen is like, damn, there's some water coming, man, and it doesn't look good, man.
Yeah,
Doesn't look good.
essentially, we've had a storm for about almost 2 weeks in a row. It is going to be raining in Santa Clara on Saturday, so that is going to be a factor. So, what do you do when it rains? You run the football, you play good defense, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot of in this game, especially with the great rookie running back in Kenneth Walker III, and of course Christian McCaffrey.
What's the over under? Let me see. Over under for that game is 40. Okay, so over under is 42 and a half points, man. Seahawks, obviously, San Fran is favored by is it 8.
I think is it right?
8.5, I think it was earlier, but yeah, essentially a touchdown and a 2 point. Yeah, man. I'm gonna hit the under. I'm gonna go under just because I think it's gonna be a sloppy game. Just the weather's gonna be a factor.
That would be kind of crazy if it is an under game, right? Because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for regardless of the situation, this 49ers defense, it's legit. And once they can get that running game going, man, like Christian McCaffrey just opens up George Kittle. So,
Yeah,
the game plan, it's simple, man. Just stop Christian McCaffrey and everything else should just collapse for this 49ers offense. But, they still got a relatively stingy defense, and that's where you need to have your OC. So if your offensive coordinator is considered a guru, this is the time that he would come out as a guru and show that he could find his holes in this defense and score his points. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the under two because I don't really see Seattle being able to. I don't really, regardless of the whole, I don't really believe in. Well, no, I mean, patterns are kind of they're kind of tricky, right? Some patterns are kind of tricky. So who knows, man? We've seen some crazier things in the NFL, especially this season. So, but I'm gonna go under, and I'm gonna go with the 49ers in this one.
49 like they're getting healthy at the right time too. I think Debo should be back, and a lot of other injured players should be back for
Oh,
this game.
Yeah, Kinlaw's also back, but I know he's been dealing with injuries for a couple of years already. Um, yeah, look, I like the Niners to win this game, but I like Seattle to cover the points. I think it's
Yeah,
going to be
I
a
didn't
very
pick it. I didn't pick. I'm gonna go with the Niners too.
yeah, Niners should win this football game. But would I be surprised if Seattle wins? I would not.
Right.
But look, I mean, let's just give a huge credit to Pete Carroll on that team. A lot of people thought that they were going to tank, that they were going to be a bad team, and look, now they're in the wild card round. So, and I don't
Just
think
them making the
anybody
playoffs is
expected
big.
that.
Yeah, just them making the playoffs is huge.
Yeah, and then what a redemption story for Geno Smith too.
Mhm.
that is an understatement, right? Because I mean, he really revived that. I mean, he gave Seahawks Nation hope, right? Because after Russell Wilson, that was a big loss in the offseason. That was the talk of the offseason almost. And for Geno to come in, and nobody had high expectations. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us are on board with this. I mean, I didn't really expect anything from Geno, and for him to have relatively good season. I know it kind of fell down towards the end, but I mean, shoot, they won when they needed to win, and they got that last win to get in and punch their ticket in. So hats off to them.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be a good game, but it's gonna be could be a sloppy game for this team just because of the elements and whatnot. So, and then the Saturday night cap, last game of the day, you got the Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, this is a rematch from earlier in the year, and Jacksonville really dominated the Chargers 38-10, and now this game is going to be in Jacksonville.
Ooh, this right here is gonna be another good one too.
Mm.
Tell them two good young quarterbacks, probably the future of our league or whatnot, with Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence. Two pretty good young teams. Chargers been a little bit of injury. They've been a bit injury riddled this year. Jaguars been coming on as of late. So I mean, this is another one, man. We're looking at our future right now in the league. Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, and this is the future. I can't wait to see how Jaguars match up with them. I think. A lot of people think the Jaguars just probably happy to be in there. They're just gonna be, hey, we just here, we won the division, we've done enough, we can go home. I think the Jaguars can be last year's Cincinnati Bengals. I think they can be a sneaky team. They get hot at the right time. I think the Chargers too, they can be that team too. But I really think the Jaguars team, they got nothing to lose. They're playing with house money, and they're gonna be a tough out. And they did manhandle Justin Herbert and the Chargers early this year, but I think that game was in LA, I believe. So basically, probably like a Jaguars home game. But this right here, this is going to be huge. I don't think it'll be that bad this time. I look forward to see some good football on Saturday night. This going to be a good game.
One of the things that we do have to mention is Mike Williams is questionable for the game. He was injured. And look, I don't know what the Chargers were thinking, playing the starters essentially the whole game. Did they play him the whole game?
I think I've seen something that he might not play.
Yeah, so
he actually had to be carted off, man. Mike Williams had to be carted off. Look at Blake. That's his team, man. That's Blake Gardner's team, man.
Yeah. So the Chargers right now they are favored by 2.5 points. But look, this is a game that I think is gonna be one. I'm gonna go out there and put this out that I think this is gonna be the best game of the weekend.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with the Chargers, man. I just don't think the Jaguars can beat them a second time. I'm gonna go with the Chargers in this game, and like a very close one.
I don't know, man. This could be like Fidel said, the game of the week, man. But I don't know, man. The thing is that this Jaguars defense is like there's nobody on that defense. Well, I mean, they do have some nice players, right? Like, don't get me wrong, like Josh Allen, the rookie Trayvon Walker was a first-round pick, so that made big headlines this offseason. But other than that, the rest of the Jaguars defense, they're really stepping it up, man. So this is going to be a good test, man, for the Chargers. And, regardless of what anybody says, Fidel, I mean, haven't you said that Brandon Staley is on the hot seat if he doesn't win this game?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Jared, because when you look at this matchup, obviously Trevor Lawrence, first overall pick, Jaguars, and then you got Justin Herbert playing. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But when I really look at this matchup, I look at the coaching. And for that alone, I'm going to go Jacksonville wins this football game. Ooh. Now, I will say, I hope the Chargers do win so Brandon Staley sticks around for another year. So that way the Raiders get to play him twice. But with all that being said, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win this football game.
It's really close, right? Especially with how they're favored. So at -2.5. I mean, it's relatively a good game, and I've become a true believer of Trevor. Seeing him play against my beloved Cowboys this season. I mean, I love. Shout out to my family, right? I love how my sister, she was watching the game with me, right? We had a little family get together, and she's like, "Man, who is this young, vibrant man?" I go, "Oh, that's Trevor Lawrence, first pick overall a season ago." And she's like, "Look at him. He just threw an interception, but it looks like he already forgot about it." You know what I mean? Like, it's just so cool to hear that kind of stuff. And you see Trevor, man, and you know what? Trevor still has that. He has a championship pedigree. So with Trevor, he don't need playoff experience. He comes from a championship experience. So I like this matchup. Justin Herbert, man, it's kind of a questionable situation with the Chargers. I like the Chargers. I think that the Chargers would probably want to have a Sean Payton in place, though. So I would go with the Jags in this game.
And it has been thrown out there that Sean Payton does like to live in LA. So,
Mhm.
and look, I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Staley gets fired if they lose this football game, but we'll see. But I do pick the Chargers, or not the Chargers, the Jaguars to win this football game.
That's gonna be an interesting storyline, though. We got to revisit this next week.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And then on the Sunday we got 3 games going on. So first game, the early game is going to be Dolphins at Bills. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa is going to be he's out officially. I believe it's Skylar Thompson that's going to start for the Miami Dolphins. And look, Buffalo, look, Hamlin's home, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the football game. The crowd's going to be energized.
That stadium's going to be rocking. I mean, the Dolphins, they're coming in at a disadvantage with down to your third string quarterback, no Tua. They got a few injuries over there. Buffalo's coming off a big game last week against the Patriots. Playoff game. Bills are all in it for this season. I don't think the Dolphins stand a chance. I'm not even going to spend too much time on this game. I'm going with Buffalo in a route.
Well, hold on, Kendall. Are you sure you want to go right there right away?
I thought about it earlier too, and I was like, I told myself you can't sleep on the Dolphins or whatnot. But I think if Tua play, their chances go up significantly.
Oh, yeah.
I think with Bridgewater, their chance to go up significantly. But with Skylar Thompson, it's just too much to ask. I don't
How
care
many
what type
points
of
did they
weapons.
score last week?
Well, the reason why I ask you is because Skylar Thompson's actually on Dan Orlovsky's top 10 playoff quarterbacks. Did you guys know that?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and ignore that list on there, and I think you put Dak 12th. Yeah, there's
I
something
do think the Bills will struggle early, but then I think by the second half they're gonna run away with it.
Raheem Mostert is dealing, I believe, with a broken thumb, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. So he's questionable to play. I don't know if he's gonna be able to go or not. But look, Buffalo has everything to play for. Hamlin's home. You know what I mean? And Italy really bad at one point. So, and then look, I'm telling you, if he shows up to this game, they're gonna be energized. This crowd's gonna be super loud, and I just don't believe in the quarterback to get the job done for Miami.
I feel the same. Bills blowout. You know what? Give me the Bills blowout. Bills win. It's not even a contest.
And honestly, hey, look, this game might be over by halftime. Honestly.
The only reason I said I don't know, are you sure, Kendall, is because I mean I think that obviously that quarterback list that Dan Orlovsky did was just for clickbait, man. I mean, how can you put Skyler up there on top 10? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, he was ranking all quarterbacks in the playoffs, so he had a.
What did he show Dan Orlovsky last week to even kind of put him there? How many points did he score last week to win the game? 9 points?
And I like Dan Orlovsky too, but
I like him too, but he just showed his true colors, and that's where I would kind of like I would ask ESPN right here directly. It's when do you question somebody's credibility and what they're seeing? You know what I mean? Or are you just a Cowboy hater? Because you could just say, hey, I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like Dak Prescott. You could just say that.
Was Dak Prescott and the quarterback? Was he in there?
He was the 12th, I think, quarterback. He had him ranked.
Okay.
But anyways,
what he's seen in Skylar Thompson to put him up there, but
I don't see. I mean, he's got a pretty cool name. I'll give him that.
Sure? Are you sure that wasn't an error that you seen, Jerry? Or you?
They made it into a
meme.
A graphic, man. They had it.
I was making sure it wasn't an error or something.
Memorial Drive said Miami won't be able to keep up with the Bills. Bills win. It's not even a contest. Yeah, give me the Bills. It will be over by half.
Hey, honestly, it might be. And look, right now the Bills are favored by 13 points. The under over is 43.5. Yeah, I think Buffalo alone might be able to score 35 points.
11 points last week, and then jumped up already like by.
Well, I mean, it kind of just tells you because look, the last time they played, Tua played, and they won by 3 points. I want to say.
So who's going to be the backup quarterback? Who's going to be the backup quarterback? Is Bridgewater going to be active?
Look, Teddy's still questionable, but again,
you can't tell me at 80% Bridgewater ain't better than Skylar Thompson.
What do the Dolphins do, right? I mean, look, Dan Orlovsky needs to be drug tested. What do the Dolphins do though? Because this is a team that's ready to win now, and I don't know about Tua's career after this, man.
Not at the quarterback position, and then now you're dealing with the guy that put, allegedly has only 2 concussions, but I think it's 3. So I mean,
Right.
if you're the Dolphins, do you really want to do that? Like, do you really want to put him back out there in harm's way? And then the other thing, Tua, I mean, do you really still want to play football? Like, I mean, look, you made some money already. You're still young. You got the rest of your life to look forward to. Do you really want to risk getting another concussion and maybe it being
Right.
worse than the last time?
It's crazy because it almost feels like it's Alabama all over again. You remember when he got hurt in Alabama, and then Jalen Hurts came in, and then was able to resurge the Crimson Tide, and then after that he had another injury that he dealt with. So it's kind of crazy when he has to deal with this kind of situation. And like you say, he's really young, man. So we'll see what they do, and hopefully Tua does what's best for Tua and his family long term. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that that's the way that things are going to fall in place.
Look at this. Miami going to get
Wow.
Lamar.
Well,
And you know what? And we'll get to the Ravens situation because
let's
I
get
think that's one that
let-
needs to be talked about.
yeah, well, let's talk about
Yeah.
that because that's right there. That's worth talking.
Real quick, let's go ahead and talk about the Giants at Vikings. This would be the second game on Sunday. Right now, the Minnesota Vikings are favored by 3 points. This is another rematch from earlier this season that came close. Game came down to the end.
Came to the final play, field goal, whatnot. Vikings won it. This is gonna be a good one. This probably could be have just be an upset. A lot of people probably go with the Vikings, but I don't think a lot of people be surprised if the Giants did win.
Yeah.
And I think these two teams are pretty even, regardless of the seeding or whatnot. I think the two teams are pretty even. I'm gonna go with the Vikings just because they're home, but I don't feel good about it.
And under over's 48.5.
Wow. I don't really trust Daniel Jones. I think that I feel like I like the skill set that Daniel Jones has. Don't get me wrong. I feel like if he needs to, he can run. But the thing is, if you really trust him passing, so I kind of that's why I'm gonna ride with the Vikings on this one. But I'm right with you, Kendall. I don't trust this game at all. I don't trust this team at all. Vikings, they are. I don't know, man. Are they for real? That's my question with them.
Mm,
Well, like that defense is for sure questionable. But
right.
I am going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing at home. If this game was in New York, I'd probably go a different direction. But since they are playing at home, I like Minnesota to win this football game. But again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. Would I be surprised Giants win? I would not be
No.
surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put that disclaimer in there, right? Just to cover
Yeah.
our butts and look
Yeah.
good next week, right?
And then like both these teams have head coaches that are going to be candidates for Coach of the Year too.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, Kevin O'Connell's done a great job in Minnesota, and then Brian Daboll also in New York.
Well, I mean, his offensive coordinator, right? Brian DeBall's offensive coordinator. I think his name's already starting to circulate as a head coach already. I'm like, what?
I think last year too, he was interviewed. I believe
Yeah.
in Chicago. If I'm not
You're
mistaken.
right. You're right. So, I mean, it's one of those things, man. I mean, it shows you if you get the right coach and offensive coordinator in place, they can literally turn any situation into a good situation. And look, good job for the Giants, man. They had a hell of a year. But let's see. I think it's going to end with the Vikings.
And now we're going to talk about the most interesting game, at least to me, on Sunday. Baltimore visiting Cincinnati.
Hold on, real quick. We got some
Giants win this game. Why did they win the game?
Upset alert. Oh, Memorial Drive feels that way. Giants have a better defense.
They do.
Wow, you had two different things right on there, and then also Tua is done in the NFL. I don't see him coming back. Oh man, it's unfortunate.
I think he's going to try to come back, but I don't.
He's going to try to come back. He's a fighter, but damn man. But Giants have a better defense. That's what he's coming down to.
Yeah. So let's talk about Baltimore visiting Cincinnati. Lamar Jackson's not going to play in this football game. Essentially, Lamar has been out for like what, 4 to 6 weeks already.
I think it's week 6 already.
Yeah. So, and he put a tweet out earlier saying that he had a, basically that he still had, issue with the knee, and he was not 100% ready to go. But obviously, we know about the contract situation that he's going through, right? So a lot of people are out there kind of questioning, is he really hurt or does he not want to get hurt? So that way, when the offseason comes, Either I don't know what's gonna happen. They're gonna give him, offer him a new contract, but he wanted all guaranteed money. I don't think he's made a case for himself this season to get all guaranteed money, right? At least in my opinion.
No,
Is
he,
that
he
where this comes into place?
Miami going to get Lamar.
Well, look, it's going to be difficult for him to be traded in conference. I'm not saying it can't happen, right? But I don't know. I just don't know what to make of this situation between Lamar and the Ravens. And then let him know the game. I mean, Tyler Huntley is hurt too, but he did practice today. So we'll see if he plays on Sunday.
Yeah, look, Harvey says he wants the bag. I mean, after
I don't think
Deshaun
he's gonna get
Watson's
the bag,
contract, yeah, but after Deshaun's contract, I mean, I think there's some teams that are willing to pay that for Lamar, man. I think that what's his name, Ross. They don't have a first round pick this year, so you know what I mean. Whatever it takes, but that guy is always like the big names, right? Memorial Drive, since Cincinnati as he's going to dominate Baltimore, and he's talking about Joe Burrow, right? I guess that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. And also too, so this game, so the line is right now 9.5-point favorites. The Bengals are also under overs 40.5.
I mean,
I'm gonna go with the Bengals, and then I ain't gonna call it a blowout because they're divisional foes or whatnot. Baltimore's known for it. They got defense and whatnot. Just paid Roquan Smith too, but I'm gonna go with the Bengals though. And then
they
just played last week too. Go ahead, Jerry.
No, I was gonna say they're on an 8-game winning streak. They're up there with the 49ers, man. The Bengals. I'm saying as far as the win streak, I think 49ers are on a 10-game though. Let me see. Let me double check that for you guys. You guys go ahead and I'll double check this real quick.
But look, I mean, I just don't see this team scoring too many points. And if you're going to beat the Bengals, you're going to have to score points because we already know how the Cincinnati offense is, and Baltimore's got a good team. Cover under. I like the under.
I like the under too, and you know what? I'm not gonna bet against my guy Joe Burrow. Kendall, would you pay Lamar, and why? If you don't pay him, then why?
I would pay him, but I mean, with Lamar, I think we've seen enough to know like he's the guy. He's a really good quarterback or whatnot. And I mean, I think he could be there as a long term, and he just brings that X factor ability or whatnot, just that other dimension, run or whatnot. And then he's improved over the years throwing. I would pay Lamar because you got to ask Ball. I mean, what you going to do better? I mean, what you can go try to trade for Fields from Chicago? I mean, what are you going to do? What better are you going to get? And you see the drop off since Lamar's been out with Huntley and is it Brown or whatever. You've seen the drop off. So I think you got to pay Lamar. You got to. And then let's not forget they got rights to Lamar for the next 2 years because they can franchise him twice.
True.
I wouldn't pay him. I would not pay him. This is the same injury he had last season, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He's 20. Yeah, he's 26 right now, so he'd be 28. I mean, they can franchise. They got his right.
I would give him a good contract, but I'm not gonna give him all the guaranteed money. I mean, what happened in Cleveland? I mean, look, essentially every NFL owner hated what happened there because now when we're thinking about and look, let's think about how much money Justin Herbert's gonna get. How much money do you think he's gonna get? Who would get more money from you guys? Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson? To me, Justin Herbert.
Right.
I mean, well, you gotta throw Joe Burrow into the mix.
And there too.
It's crazy. Look what Memorial says. If he gets the bag, he ain't gonna want to win. Period. Wow.
And then if they pay him all this money, how you gonna put receivers around him? Baltimore needs some weapons there. You got your tight end and Andrews or whatnot. They need some receivers. They need a 1, a 2, and a 3. They need some receivers. So I mean, you pay him all this money. What you going? You pay him the money. You ain't got no choice but to build through the draft. Now they're good. They're good building through the draft, but I think the defense is fine. But they got to put some help around Lamar, man.
Yeah. And obviously, we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson all offseason because I think the offseason is going to start Sunday night for the Baltimore Ravens. I like Cincinnati to win this football game.
I like the Bengals too.
All right. And now let's move along to the Monday night football game. And I know I said game of the week earlier for, Jacksonville and Chargers, but I think this might be the game of the week now that I remember that these teams are playing Monday night. Dallas Cowboys visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oof, man, I've been going back and forth on this one. It's hard, man. I've been going back and forth on it, man. I really
Cowboys are favorite right now by 2.5 points.
Yeah,
under over is 45.5.
Yeah, I'm actually roommate with a Cowboy from right now. We've been talking about it and stuff, and it's crazy. I'm gonna go with the Cowboy, but the only reason I'm going because Brady hasn't lost to them, and so I think this is due. And then I think the game is on Monday night or whatnot. It's just something about this game, and we've seen how Tampa has looked this year. I just think it's Dallas time. Now I'm not. They're not. We just talking about wild card weekend now. They gonna win Monday night. I think it's their time to win. They got to get. And I watched some McCarthy press conference. I mean, they seem like they healthy. They all in. They serious whatnot. I'm gonna go with them. I don't like the pick, but I'm gonna go with Dallas. Had Tomlin not been undefeated against Dallas, I wouldn't go with them. But I just think they're due for this one though. They're due for this one. So I'm gonna go with Dallas. And I'm gonna go 28-24 Dallas.
Damn. America's team. Yes, sir, it is. Cowboys Nation, we in the building. Memorial Drive. You
I
never heard.
actually think Dallas plays better on the road than at home. I think they play better on the road than home. So I'm gonna go with Dallas.
And Memorial also wanted to add to that, Kendall, that the Cowboys defense will win this game. Know that. If you don't know anything else, right? Or I can get it down. I've been trying to. I've been practicing.
if you don't know nothing else.
There you go. But we've known each other for what?
You know what's funny is
2
when I
years?
see it on the screen, like his comments, like I can hear him saying,
Yeah.
Cowboy Nation, we in the building.
I know. I could hear his voice too, man. It's crazy. Kendall, dinner on me when we meet up. I know you're coming home. You're becoming a cowboy. You're gonna become a cowboy pretty soon. That's the word on the street, man.
Hey,
All right, Jerry, what do you think about this game?
I think that this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a crazy game. O-line is a problem for Tampa Bay. Well, we were just talking about
healthy though.
Yeah, we're just talking about that pregame. I think Jensen might come back. I think when we look at the Cowboys, they let's just make it clear. They look like crap last week against the Washington Commodes, man. And yeah, I said that right. The Washington Commodes, man. They look like crap though, Cowboys look like crap. And from what I've been seeing and what all the research that I've done on Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, man, Kellen Moore, Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott, everybody, even Micah Parsons, who I haven't really even heard really talk to the media, and now he's available to the media. The Cowboys don't want to lose, man. They want this win so bad, and I think that they're getting some key players at the right time. Their their center, Tyler Biadasz, who, when he went down, you could see that the running game, the rushing attack for the Cowboys, it just wasn't the same. It was non-existent last week. I think with Tyler Biadasz back in the offensive lineup, it's good. A hidden gem that I got from following one of the Cowboys insider was Foots the King. He says that when LVE plays, when he's active on that roster, the Dallas Cowboys have the second ranked best edge rush who was that? Know that?
Yeah.
Kellen Moore
made me sick.
He liked the Washington Commodes. What did he say? 45 million will watch this game. I called it here, Fidel. Who do you pick and when and why? But hold on, I gotta get.
I'll get to that after.
I gotta get to mine first. So like I was saying, Cowboys are getting LVE back. I was saying there's a hidden stat that people don't know about. When LVE is actually playing, the Cowboys are second in the NFL as far as sacks wise. Right now, they're currently last in sacks. So when LVE is in your lineup, your defense is running on all four cylinders. I know the Cowboys have an issue at cornerback too, but I know they've been filling the role. I think early reports are they like Xavier Rhodes. I think they'll give him a try. If not, they'll turn it back over to Nahshon Wright and allow Nahshon Wright and Deron Bland to take over the side opposite of Trey Diggs. So I really do think it's going to be a battle tested for the most part, but I do feel the Cowboys will win this game. The question is, how far can the Cowboys get? That we'll talk about obviously after this week. But yeah, give me the Cowboys. I think I'm not gonna go over or I'm not gonna go under. Just give me the spread as it is.
All right. So I picked the Cowboys last year to win on Super Wildcard weekend, and they broke my heart in the loss of the Niners. And out of here, Niner fans talk crap essentially till the NFC Championship game.
There's
I
still
want
there's still
to pick Dallas to win. They should win this football game. They're a better team. They're a
They
healthy
should.
They should, right? But I can't do it. I like Tampa to win this game. If this game was in Dallas, I think Tampa might get blown out. I really do.
Yeah. And
But
that's how I'm feeling too, because I think Dallas is going to win, but it's a small part of me that's saying that's TB12 on the other side. So it's just, but I'm still picking Dallas, but it's still just that little bit. It's like, hey, there's time over. Don't do it. Just don't do it. So
I hope that they're not looking forward to next weekend when potentially they'll play the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round, right?
that'll be something.
Not saying that they're overlooking Tampa at all, right? Because you're playing against the Bucks, Tom Brady, and those great wide receivers and whatnot. Look, I'm going to go Tampa.
I think that Tom Brady already checked out. Fidel, I think he's already ready to go. Pack his bags and go to Vegas.
We ready, Ray. We ready.
I think he's ready to go to Vegas. I don't think he even cares about this playoff run. I think he wants to hurry up and get to Vegas, man. So, give me the Cowboys confidently on this one.
If the Cowboys are up double digits at the half, I think the Cowboys are going to win this game.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to be a close game, but it'll be a close game.
Well, that's the thing. Tampa is getting healthy. Julio Jones should be back. The line should be back intact. Their defense, Dak Prescott did not look good week 1 against this same.
Just don't throw a pick, Dak, and you're going to be fine. Don't turn over the football.
CeeDee Lamb was a no-show. I mean, I'm telling you now, this Tampa team is getting healthy at the right time. I'm still, having said all that, I'm still going to go with Dallas. Small part of me telling me that I'm making the wrong choice, but I'm going with Dallas Cowboys in the close one. I think if it's close at the end, Tampa pull it out. But I think if Dallas going to be, they need to be up by 10. They need to be up by double digits with 5 minutes to go.
They need to start off quick.
Yeah, they need to get up.
Score touchdowns, not field goals.
Yeah, get up on them quick.
Yeah.
Cool Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. So we'll see. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of the East West Football Podcast. We'll have coverage all weekend long. And of course, we'll talk to you guys next week on the pod. Feed CD and you can succeed. All right. Well, go back that. Send him a text. All right. With that being said, thank you everyone out there for watching and listening. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Enjoy the weekend.